Our next keynote will be presented by Mr. Mounir Ladki, President and CTO, MYCOM OSI. Mr. Ladki is an accomplished senior executive with 24 years of global experience in telecom, IT, cloud, and digital transformation. He transformed MYCOM OSI from a startup into a global SaaS leader serving over 2 billion users. Let's welcome him on stage.
Good morning. So, it is no secret that AI is the talk of the town, including in this conference. So today I want to give you a perspective on how generative AI and LLMs are being used in network operations, are acting today, are giving a voice to the network, and are revolutionizing telecom business operations. We've heard it again. All CSPs today are investing in generative AI because it's transformative potential. Today, the most common applications are voice assistants, are chatbots, but these investments are helping accelerate the transition of CSPs from telcos to techcos, to technology companies, for example, through coding assistants. And today, most of the investments are in general AI platforms, but they will gradually evolve towards becoming more specialized language models, and also towards becoming embedded in every single piece of software and tool that is used within the telco. Now let's look a little bit at the landscape. So first we have what we call the traditional AI. This is when you use, these are systems that use small amount of structured data and produce structured outcomes. This is typically when you train data for 6 months, you use a deep AR forecasting algorithms to, let's say, forecast capacity, and you can reach 95% accuracy, by the way. So this is designed to a kind of AI that is used to produce very specific outcome. Then came the expanded AI. These are systems that take unstructured data in, like pictures, for example, or text, but can produce only structured outcomes, such as probabilities. This is typically when you use similarity algorithms for facial recognition. It highly depends on the data you feed it with, but you can reach up to 90% accuracy. And then the revolution came, and these are the foundation models, like ChatGPT, that are trained on massive amount of data, like virtually the entirety of the internet text data. They can take enormous amount of unstructured data in and produce unstructured data out. So they can address a wide range of use cases and wide range of questions, but they come with hallucinations sometimes. And today, just to let you know, if we measure the intelligence with an indicator called GPQA, the smartest PhD expert in a given field has a score of 65%. The O1 model from OpenAI is already at 78%. Moving from there is really what is of interest for us in the telco industry, and this is the agentic architectures. Agentic architectures are ways to use specialized tools to augment the capabilities of LLMs to make them expert in specific telco use cases and make them understand and provide value on top of telecom data, like, for example, the data in service assurance, where we operate. And this is where the promise lies, because with these systems, the LLMs then become autonomous, and they can directly drive automation, because the end game of using AI in our industry is to drive automation. Now, building on that, using these agentic AI systems will allow us and our industry to really make the autonomous networks happening. And we heard Salim saying this morning why autonomous network is so important, because this is essential to realize the vision of 5G networks. You remember, we all talk about 5G SA, slicing, monetizing specialized connectivity services for telecom industry. This is utterly complex and real-time, cannot be done without an autonomous network, a highly automated initially and then autonomous. And that autonomy cannot happen without AI and generative AI in particular. To move from L3, today most of the operators are around, at the end of, between 2.5 to 2.8 in terms of autonomy levels, and they all aim to become level 3 or level 4. Level 4 where you start having self-healing, self-optimization, and level 5 where you have an intent, where you express just a business intent in natural language, and you translate it into then into an actual technical service. And that will require generative AI. So how we get there? Well, we get there by delivering incremental value use cases. And you see here examples from value-based capacity planning to predictive maintenance to correlations in fault management, pattern detection, etc. All these use cases will come like incrementally on the basis of the advances done in AI and generative AI in particular. And there is enormous amount in the making. There is enormous amount of OpEx savings and internal efficiencies that I believe, and yesterday we had a very interesting conversation with one of the CEOs in our industry, they will derive more financial benefits in the short to medium term than trying to go and compete with OTT or try to go and look for external, incremental revenue streams. That is why we at MYCOM OSI, being a big observability and data analytics platform for telco, we have built on our data platform. We've augmented it with a conversational generative AI platform where we are combining customer, network, and business data together. We are correlating, cleaning this data, because that's very important. The quality of the data is absolutely fundamental if you want to realize certain outcomes from generative AI. We are doing all of that. We then infusing the knowledge, the domain expertise that we have, and we are delivering the first conversational platform that allows every executive in our industry to start using the AI to talk to your network, and solve problems. Yesterday, we heard it from Najla from Do. She is saying generative AI will humanize our network. Generative AI will give it a voice. You will hear that voice in a second. You will hear the voice of the network, how we can talk to the network, and how we can solve, for example, in this case, you will see a very important problem that Vikram, yesterday, the CEO of IOH, mentioned, which is how to make every cell profitable, how to make every site profitable, because then you can generate more profits that you can invest elsewhere in the network. So let's see how we can make every site profitable talking to the network.
As the Chief Network Officer, I want to ensure excellent service quality in my network while maximizing revenue. My network capacity dashboard tells me that an important part of London is operating at low capacity, with over 8,000 cells using up 80% capacity. Let's see if Genie can help me improve the situation. The 4G network generated over $2 million from voice services and $21 million from data. But it seems there's still significant untapped potential in my network. Let me ask GE how untapped capacity per city can drive additional revenue growth. A total of over $18 million revenue is sitting unused. London tops the list with $8.15 million. I must analyze London's network utilization to identify patterns impacting service quality and revenue. London has 53,000 cells with an average utilization of 46%. 8,000 cells exceed 80% utilization, averaging 91%. This means we have potential congestion areas. Next, let's see the impact on service quality by analyzing 4G downlink throughput. I see a negative correlation between utilization and throughput, with high utilization cells averaging 9 megabits per second, compared to the citywide average of 23 megabits per second. This means that congestion is impacting service quality. Let's see the revenue potential if we improve throughput. I will now talk to the network instead of typing. Genie calculate the total revenue currently generated by high utilization cells and estimate the potential revenue boost if their 4G throughput is improved to the overall city average. So the network has told me that high utilization cells generate $1.5 million, but improving throughput to the average city cell could add another $2.4 million. My next question is, how can we improve the 4G downlink throughput for these high utilization cells? Genie recommends network optimization, traffic management, MIMO, and beamforming to unlock $2.4 million in revenue. That's fantastic.
So by the way, all of this is reflective of real customer data. This is now operational. This is not like some demo or a mock-up. This is how it works. Today, you can talk, every single executive of every single CSP can talk to their networks, because the adoption of AI, we believe, starts at the top, at the executive management level, to see value from it, and then to I would say, so that it can trickle down across the organization. And we are happy to show you more around that and how it can be used. Now, in terms of guidelines for success, because we have implemented this in live environments, etc., we want to just share some lessons learned to enable successful implementation of LLMs in telco and network operations. One, you have to choose the right LLMs, and that's why you have to start with evaluation. You have to know what is your evaluation criteria. Are you looking for accuracy? Are you looking for speed? You have to look at that, and then you have to be able to choose the right LLM. The second one, and that's why your architecture needs to be a multi-LLM architecture. The second thing is you need to design for scalability. Today, in a typical telco, we are managing more than 100 billion data records per hour. So these systems need to be scalable and, of course, secure. Data foundation is immensely important. You can't just plug generative AI on an ocean or a lake or a river of like crap data. You will not get the desired outcome. Data has to be clean, correlated, normalized, etc. first. So the big data lake strategy that underpins the utilization of generative AI is of immense importance. You need to focus on it. Then the implementation model. You have on-prem architectures with operators wanting to, or CSPs wanting to implement LLMs on their own private clouds, but LLM ops is very complex and very costly as well. Consider the API calls to the cloud, because we see it as a far more effective model in the longer term. Focus on profitability and cap the utilization. Today, the cost of 1 million tokens, which is approximately 750,000 words, is somewhere between 30 and 60 US dollars. So some silly questions and utilization of this will cause the bill to go out, to really soar. So you have to be careful with that. And then finally, you have to select the right ecosystem. So as far as we are concerned, for example, we have partnered with AWS because AWS provide the right set of data, security, framework, compliance, capabilities, as well for us to deliver on our solutions. So message is, this is here and now. This is not for the future. This can start today. Start adopting it. Focus on the data. And I will not cover the people and the culture side of it. It has been covered earlier, but focus on the data. Make sure that you build an ecosystem that can allow you to switch across different LLMs and benchmark LLMs and use the ones that are convenient for the use case and the objective you're trying to achieve. And finally, think about where you want to put the LLM. Okay? Yes, there are problems of sovereign cloud and sovereign data. Yes, there are concerns around security and safety. But again, there is efficiency, there is cost efficiency and operational efficiencies. And the API calls is a very good model. So think about how you can leverage the cloud as much as you can to make this a successful outcome. And thank you.